it's finally...
NewsNation political editor, host of The Hill on Sunday, Chris Stirewalt is with us. Former vice president and Fox News managing editor Bill Sammon is with us as well. Bill, back to your network executive days. Is network executives going to start saying to their White House units, we now need to cover Joe Biden in a different way?
You know, I don't even think it has to be that explicit. I think it is so self-evident, it's so manifest after last night that I think the journalists will simply be reporting what is, you know, the obvious widespread panic within the Democratic Party, which is now the sort of organizing principle throughout the Democratic Party. But underneath that panic, they're split. And they are split into two distinct camps. One is the first camp is, let's dump him now. And the second camp is, let's circle the wagons, maybe wait for the first batch of polls to come out, and then maybe we'll dump him then. And I tell you, the New York Times, when you've lost the New York Times editorial board, which they came out an hour and a half ago and said, you know, he should step down, that is going to give cover to a lot of the circle the wagons people to start inching over into the dump him now camp, because that gives you a fig leaf to say, boy, even the New York Times doesn't like we got to do something, guys.
Chris, how do we know when the panic is real?
So this is everything that's been said and is being said is something that these people believed before but couldn't say. Some of them said, Ezra Klein of the New York Times, for example, said back in February or March, it's time for Joe Biden to step aside for the good of his party. And then he walked it back. Well, there was a lot of enforcement that was going on. You can't say this about Biden because if you do, it's going to blow up and Donald Trump is going to become president. What you saw last night and today from Democrats and from their admirers in the press was, now it's okay to say the truth. Now it's okay to say. So the urgency of the freakout and the volume of the freakout is multiplied by the fact that it was pent-up demand. There was a reservoir of anxiety about Biden that people were not giving voice to, and now they have a reason that they can.
And the Wall Street Journal, which a couple of weeks ago put out a major story saying Biden's really out of it behind the scenes, and the press uniformly attacked the Wall Street Journal and said, you didn't source that properly, et cetera, et cetera. They've been vindicated. And by the way, can we now stop all of this talk about, well, it was a cheap fake? He didn't really walk away from the Italian prime minister. You don't believe your lying eyes. The American people saw with their own eyes last night what kind of condition our president is in, and they didn't really like it.
There's a deeper issue that Scott Jennings on CNN pointed out, and I think it's important to hear your guys' thoughts. Take a listen.
We have been told for weeks by Democrats who say, oh, in private meetings, I've seen Joe Biden do cartwheels and handstands while doing trigonometry while solving all the nation's problems. We now know that every single person who said that has been lying to the American people.
So this is the question going forward, Chris. If the ABC debate happens, right, and allegedly Joe Biden's team put out, hey, we're still in, there's no dropping out, and we're in for the ABC debate. What changes about how ABC has to do that?
Well, first, I would say that Scott Jennings, who I like and who is smart, would also acknowledge that Donald Trump's administration and White House and their admirers in the press lied to the American people constantly. It would
kind of a thing in politics, right?
And we are in a particularly effulgent era of the wood chipper of dishonesty and falsehood. But anyway, I think it would be very hard for Joe Biden it would be very hard for Donald Trump not to debate Joe Biden. There's a way that you could do it, that you could say, it's elder abuse, I can't do it to him, it's too hard to watch. But I think if Joe Biden says, I want to debate you again, and they said it today, the Biden campaign said it today, we are still in on that September 10th debate, we're going to do it. I think it'd be very hard for Donald Trump not to do it.
I think survival instinct kicks in long before then. I don't know that we get to another debate. I think the Democrats are realizing we are looking at a guy who is going to go from having put a third of the Supreme Court justices on to maybe 2/3 of the Supreme Court justices on, not to mention all the other federal
House,
judges.
Senate, everything else.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.